Virgo, this is your ethereal news for February 2021. So Virgo, we start the month off with, for some reason, the start of this month, you have the ability now to drop your guard, okay? I feel like you've been standing your ground for quite some time now, and as we continue this read, we're going to find out more what this is all about, but the first card is really important because it sets the tone for the whole spread. Okay, it's like the foundations being laid down. And the first card, to me, in my view, it has a lot of significance, okay, to tell us what's to come. So I feel like everything does encompass around the first card. That's just my experience. But anyway, so at the beginning of the month, Virgo, we have, it's like a fresh new start this month. So I feel like you've been going through quite the journey. And I want to say you are somewhat of a wounded warrior at this point. I feel like you've been fighting your way either up the ladder, whatever you're trying to achieve, you've been really trying to get there. However, you've had to stand your ground on a lot of things, and you've been on some sort of guard, okay? You've been on the guard. Vanguard. But, so this month, it's like a fresh new start, as I was saying, because it's like, you can kind of like come up off that energy now, because it's like, that's a tough energy to work with, because it's like you're always on watch, you're always on guard, and it's like you can kind of like let that energy subside a bit and drop your guard. That way you can allow new things to come in, a new fresh flow of energy to come in, because when you're staying in that kind of energy, you're also preventing anything else coming in, and that could mean something good, okay? So continuing on at the start of the month, Virgo, it's like, for whatever the reason is, perhaps you've been stuck in a situation. So I feel like maybe you've been stuck in a situation and you feel like you didn't know how to get out of it. However, maybe something came along, gave you some realization, or you found the strength within to pull out some energy, because continuing on at the beginning of the month, after you're able to kind of just like let some things go, drop the guard a bit, it's like, I see this, it's like this rush of energy coming where it has you taking your ability to manifest and taking your energetic value somewhere else. So I feel like whatever you were putting your energy into, I feel like it's come to a halt because you can't defend it no more. So you're taking your energy elsewhere, where you can use it elsewhere. it's like, in some aspect, it's like you just packing up and go, okay? I don't want to say it's like a physical move, but I mean, it is physical, and it also could be somewhat of a mental state. So it's not like it has to be all physical, you know? It could be a state of mind too, because the way I'm reading these cards, for some reason, I feel like this is in your head. It's like your head space, okay? I feel like, you know, your ability to be strong right now is very limited, Virgo. So you're pulling out every bit of courage you have within, okay? And I see you thinking about the past. I see you somewhat thinking about, it could go back to childhood, but it's like you've been intuitively thinking about just back when you were kind of like a child, and it's like, or maybe even preteens, you know, somewhere where it's like a younger, youthful adolescence, and everything kind of just flowed, and you didn't have the pressure in life where you had to worry so much about standing your ground. You know what I mean? Because it's like when you grow older, you realize that this world does have a lot to do with survival, and it has a lot to do with, you know, my goodness, creating your own, like, financial stability in this world, which for some people it can be quite difficult and challenging. I mean, I don't know what else to say about that than, you know, basically what I just said. I mean, I can't, you know, explain that enough when people in general, when we do grow up, it can be quite the challenge to blend in with society and get with the so-called program and use the skills we know. And I mean, it's like a combination of things. So, and when you're young, you don't really, you know, look at life like, let me do what I'm supposed to do as a preteen or early adolescence in order to have a smooth transition into adulthood. We don't really think about that when we're children or when we're teenagers. So you're kind of intuitively reflecting back during the earlier adolescence of your life when you didn't have to quite stand your ground so much and be on the alert and constantly have to shift and change and, you know, collect your energetic value and displace it where you see fit. We didn't have to really think about all that. However, you're just, I feel like you're just thinking about, this month really has you going back to wondering why is your early adolescence a stage of life where things were so much more like peaceful for the most part, less stressful, and how come it takes so much to blend that into adulthood and to move forward in life? So those are some of the questions you're asking yourself this month and some of the things coming up this month. Because right now it's like, Virgo, you want to grow up. You want to grow up, and you're just like trying to really piece together and put all your tools out on the table and see what you have to work with and, you know, what you can utilize in order to push yourself forward and create some sort of stability for yourself. And especially during these times, Virgo, because this is meant for a certain time period. And of course, the whole thing with time, past, present, the future, timelines, the matrix, everything happening all at once. We don't realize it. But during this time, this moment in time, you are wanting your stability, and whether you had it and you're trying to get it back, the point of the matter is you're intuitively reflecting on the past, earlier, all the way back to childhood, even pre-adolescence, or when things were more stable, if you've ever experienced stability before in your life. But you're thinking about it, you're reflecting about it, and you're doing somewhat of some homework about what kind of skills do you have, what can you pull out of your bag of tricks and use to propel you forward, to create some stability so you can have a peace of mind, Virgo. Because right now it's like you're very limited with energy and strength, and you really have to pull out a lot of inner strength in order to gain courage to see where you can utilize your energy the best. Because Virgo, you know your worth, and you're not going to stick around some place or somewhere, around a certain kind of energy if it's not really benefiting you. In a significant way, okay? So, coming up in the end of the middle part of the month, okay, you're going to be faced with some sort of significant choice that you need to make, which you're going to be unclear about. And there's going to be somewhat of a fork in the road, and you're going to be pretty much like at a crossroads where you knew something was coming up, and you understand whatever this is that's coming up has a lot to do with what was going on in the beginning of the month, where you're going to have to make some sort of decision, and it just had you where you knew you're going to have to address this decision, this choice, this obstacle that's coming up in your life path, where it's kind of like in your way. You're going to have to handle it. And you wanted to escape that by just kind of like reflecting a little bit about, past times when things weren't so challenging, okay, to gain stability. And you're doing homework and figuring out, different skills that you have, and, different ways where maybe you can do 2 jobs, maybe you can have a side project. I mean, what if you could do something else that could create this, wonderful, impossible dream, so to say. But there is going to be a decision that needs to be made coming up that you're not going to really be sure of, okay? And it's like going towards the later part of the month, after this decision coming up, I mean, you're going to be kind of like swamped with work. You're going to be really juggling your finances, and that's not going to give you a whole lot of time to think about, what this significant obstacle, I say obstacle or challenge, it could be opportunity, what have you, but it's something significant coming up that you need to think about, that you're not really sure of how to approach it, how to handle it, what action to take, so to say, or what to even think about it. It's like there in your head and you need to deal with it, but you're presented with either options, or you may not have any options at this point because you need more time. But the later part of the month, you're just juggling your finances right now and making, trying to make the ends meet and whatnot. Because I feel like what is happening right now is you're valuing your emotional worth and your emotional stability with what you bring home and what you're able to provide for yourself and possibly others. But whatever you're trying, whatever, like, you know, financial, whatever financial abundance you can manifest, you know, your salary, what you're bringing home, net pay, that's what's creating this emotional awareness for you. And that's what's it's like right now your financial focus has everything to do with your emotional balance. So let's see here. You want to be happy. You want to be happy. I feel like you want to be happy with what you do for work. That's the thing. I feel like you're at the point now where you've gained enough emotional maturity, Virgo, and you're understanding right now that you're understanding kind of your self-worth, and you want to kind of you want to put the world, actually, in the financial world to the test, because I think you're figuring out your worth, and you want to see what's out there, and you know, you want to see where your time and energy could be better spent, because you feel like, you know, you have a lot to offer, okay? And at this point, your emotional stability and the emotional growth that you have gotten to this point, your emotional awareness, has you walking away from something. And you know, I feel like your current circumstances, you could have developed a lot of love and a lot of connections, but I see you walking away from it because of something better. It's like self-preservation, you know, and not necessarily just self-preservation. I feel like whatever it is that you're doing in life right now, because I feel like, Virgo, you work a lot and you spend a lot of your time working and in that whole arena of life, and you want to be happy with what you're doing, and you feel like you're valuable and you have a lot of things to offer, and your time and your energy is precious and it's worth quite a bit. So you want to see what else is out there instead of what you're doing currently. And I see that, yeah, it's this decision of you staying within a financial institution or a job or a company or in a partnership or what have you. I see this having to do with finances, though, yeah. And it's like you want to ask yourself, do I stay in this job, or do I go out and look for something else that could be more fulfilling, because I spend a lot of time at work and I know my worth now, and my emotional well-being is at stake here and is intuitively talking to me and checking in with me to seeing if I'm happy emotionally, if I'm able to emotionally respond to my environment with joy and happiness like I once did as a child even, you know? So, I mean, I see at the end of the month, you're going to come to some decision, crossroads, and I see you walking away from something, and the love will still be there, but you're like on this journey now to find something better for yourself. And, you know, Virgo, I think that's a wonderful thing for you. Okay, Virgo? So let's get you a law of attraction card. The law of attraction is always matching, quote Buddha. So Virgo, you got magnetism. I attract and magnetize to me all that I need to get what I want. Well, remember that bag of tricks that we were talking about earlier in the middle of your read, in the middle of the month, in the middle of the spread? I mean, yeah, I feel like because of how other people emotionally respond to you, Virgo, you're understanding your worth and you're understanding your potential. And you don't need to stay in a deadbeat job or some job that's not really giving you or putting that value on you that you deserve or know your worth at this point of the game of so-called life. So I see that you're very charismatic this month. I see even with what's going on, I see that it's like trendy with you. There's this trendy vibe because you're really setting the stage and inspiring others to check in with their emotional self, their inner child possibly, and pay attention to see that self-worth, that value that's there for you. So you can have a peace of mind and you can get involved with something that can make you happy and make life more fulfilling while taking care of you at the same time. Why not? So Virgo, with that being said, let me get Fred over here so he can give some further insight and wisdom to your spread. Come on, Fred. We need your help. We need your little pep talk. Say hi to Virgo. All the Virgos out there. Hi, Virgo. How have you been? Me? I've been doing okay. I've been helping Lady Bree with her tarot horoscopes because I feel the need to give my 2 cents, and everyone has been responding to it pretty well. So I think I may start helping out more with her tarot horoscopes. But besides the point, let's take a look at your spread and see if there's anything I can share with you. Okay? Okay, Fred, so let's get you over here. By the way, Fred, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to help me. You are a Virgo yourself, and I put so much value on you. Yes, Fred. Why, thank you, Lady Bree. Let's see Virgo's spread, because I know their time is valuable, so we can't keep them too long now. So Virgo, I see that, you've really come a long ways as far as what you've been building, and you have been exerting a lot of energy just standing your ground. When you know what you're worth, it's like people respond to that in a different way, because if they know that they aren't helping you evolve and they're somewhat holding you back, they don't want to lose you, of course, but maybe they just don't have anything else to offer you. So maybe that makes them feel a certain kind of way, Virgo. But all you can do is what's best for you, Virgo. And I see that you see the value in your work and what you have to offer the world. And once you see that, you're able to act and respond. And Virgo, I know that you're a smart cookie. So I see you. Because down at the bottom, I see this emotional awareness. You're listening to your gut feeling too, so it's like the opposition sign of you, Pisces. You're able to kind of incorporate your shadow side, Pisces, and listen to your gut feeling, so your intuition is helping you manage your way. Because I see that you are exiting at the end of this month, going towards something better. And as long as you trust your intuition will never lie to you and will always guide you and help you make the right decisions. So, just like they used to say, listen to your gut, Virgo, you actually rule over the gut area, so you need to listen to your gut. And if your gut is telling you you need to pack up and go to somewhere better, trust me, you will have the power to do so, and where you're headed is going to be so much better, and they will miss you, of course. No love lost, just look out for yourself and do what's best for you. So with that being said, Virgo, I'll go ahead and let you go. I know you got a busy schedule and everything. So busy, buddy. And don't worry so much, Virgo. Yeah, Fred, that was some good advice. I love hearing you talk. You're gonna have to help me out more often. Maybe you could just do this for me. I don't mind, Lady Bree, but let's go ahead and get on to the next sign because I know they're waiting. So, bye, Virgo. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Well, Virgo, thank you. And that was your ethereal news for February 2021. Take care.